Welcome to our journey through one of the greatest empires in history, the Persian Civilization. Founded by Cyrus the Great in the 6th century before Christ, Persia became a powerful and vast empire, stretching from India to the Mediterranean. But what made Persia truly remarkable? It was not just its military strength, but also its innovative administration, cultural diversity, and tolerance toward conquered peoples. From the royal road that connected distant lands to the Cyrus cylinder, often considered the first charter of human rights, Persia left a legacy that shaped future civilizations. In this video, we will explore how Persia united different nations under one rule, the great rulers like Cyrus the Great and Darius I. The advanced economy, military, and culture that made Persia thrive, the fall of the empire and its lasting influence on history. Join us as we uncover the rich history and legacy of the Persian Empire, a civilization that changed the ancient world forever. Stay tuned. Persia, located in what is now modern-day Iran, occupied a highly strategic position between some of the most influential civilizations of the ancient world: Mesopotamia, Central Asia, and India. This unique geographical location made Persia a crucial crossroads for trade, culture, and military expansion. The Persian landscape was diverse and challenging, shaping the way its civilization evolved. The region was characterized by majestic mountain ranges like the Zagros and Elburz, which provided natural defense and influenced settlement patterns. Vast deserts, including the Dasht-e-Kavir and Dasht-e-Lut, which made travel difficult, but also protected Persia from invasions. Fertile valleys near rivers like the Zayande and Karun, where agriculture thrived and early cities developed. Persia's geography played a key role in shaping its economy, military strategy, and cultural development. Trade routes passed through Persia, connecting the Mediterranean, India, and China. This led to economic prosperity and cultural exchange. Mountain fortresses gave Persian rulers a strategic advantage in warfare and defense. Irrigation systems were developed to sustain agriculture in arid regions, allowing Persia to support a growing population. This combination of natural protection, rich resources, and connectivity helped Persia rise as one of the most powerful empires in history. Join us in this video as we explore how Persia's unique geography shaped its legendary civilization. The Persian Empire, one of the most powerful civilizations of the ancient world, was shaped by strong and visionary rulers who expanded its borders, established efficient governance, and influenced global history. In this video, we will explore the most notable kings of Persia and their achievements. Cyrus the Great, 559 to 530 before Christ. The founder and benevolent conqueror. The founder of the Achaemenid Empire, Cyrus the Great, is remembered not only for his military conquests, but also for his remarkable tolerance and diplomacy. United Persian tribes and conquered Media, Lydia, and Babylon, creating the largest empire of his time. Allowed religious and cultural freedom, most famously freeing the Jews from Babylonian captivity. His Cyrus cylinder is considered the first declaration of human rights. Cambyses II, 530 to 522 before Christ. The conqueror of Egypt. Cambyses II, the son of Cyrus, expanded the empire further, led a military campaign into Egypt, defeating Pharaoh Psamtik III at the Battle of Pelusium, declared himself Pharaoh, integrating Persian rule into Egyptian traditions. His reign was short-lived, and his sudden death led to a power struggle in Persia. Darius I the Great, 522 to 486 before Christ. The empire's architect, one of the most influential Persian kings, Darius I transformed Persia into a well-organized and economically strong empire, created the satrapy system, dividing the empire into administrative provinces for better governance. Built the Royal Road, enhancing trade and communication across 2,500 kilometers. Introduced a standardized currency, gold daric and silver siglos, boosting commerce. Expanded Persian influence to India, the Caucasus, and the Balkans. Launched the first Persian invasion of Greece, but was defeated at the Battle of Marathon, 490 before Christ. Xerxes I, 486 to 465 before Christ. The Greek campaigns. Son of Darius I, Xerxes III is most famous for his military expeditions against Greece. Assembled one of the largest armies in history for the Second Persian invasion of Greece. Won the Battle of Thermopylae, 480 BC, against King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans. Destroyed Athens, but suffered defeat at the naval battle of Salamis. His failure marked the beginning of Persia's decline in Greece. Artaxerxes III and Darius III, 336 to 330 before Christ, the fall of the empire. By the 4th century BC, Persia faced external threats and internal decline. Artaxerxes III attempted to restore Persian strength, but faced rebellions. Darius III, the last king of the Achaemenid dynasty, struggled against the invasion of Alexander the Great. Defeated at the Battle of Gaugamela, 331 before Christ, Darius III fled, but was later assassinated by his own men. This marked the end of the Achaemenid Empire and the beginning of Greek rule in Persia under Alexander. Cyrus the Great was not only a brilliant military leader, but also a visionary statesman who laid the foundations of one of the greatest empires in history, the Achaemenid Empire. His leadership transformed Persia from a collection of tribes into the most powerful civilization of its time. Persia was under the rule of the Median Empire. However, he successfully united the Persian tribes, overthrew the Median king Astyages in 550 before Christ, and established Persia as an independent and dominant power. This victory was the first step toward creating a vast and highly organized empire. One of Cyrus's most significant achievements was the conquest of Babylon in 539 before Christ, marking a turning point in ancient history. He defeated the Babylonian king Nabonidus and entered Babylon without much resistance. Unlike previous conquerors, Cyrus did not destroy the city but instead presented himself as a liberator. He allowed the Jewish people who were exiled in Babylon to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. This act is even mentioned in the Bible, Book of Ezra, portraying Cyrus as a righteous ruler. His humane approach to governance set him apart from other rulers of the time. The Persian Empire, particularly under Darius I, developed one of the most efficient and sophisticated administrative systems of the ancient world. This system allowed the empire to govern vast and diverse territories while maintaining stability, order, and economic prosperity. A model for future empires, to effectively manage its immense territory, Persia was divided into satrapies, provinces, each ruled by a satrap, governor. There were about 20 satrapies, each responsible for collecting taxes, overseeing law and order, and maintaining local infrastructure. Satraps were appointed by the king but often came from noble Persian families. Each satrap had a local administration, including military officers, judges, and tax collectors, ensuring efficient governance. The satrapy system was so successful that later empires, including the Romans and Ottomans, adopted similar administrative structures. The official religion of the Persian Empire. Zoroastrianism, the dominant religion of the Persian Empire, was one of the world's first monotheistic faiths. Founded by the prophet Zarathustra, Zoroaster, this religion introduced the concept of a single supreme God, moral dualism, and the idea of free will, which would later influence many major world religions, including Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the teachings of Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism revolves around the eternal struggle between good and evil. Ahura Mazda, the supreme God, the embodiment of wisdom, truth, and light. Angra Mainyu, Ahriman, the spirit of evil, darkness, and chaos, constantly working against Ahura Mazda. This cosmic battle is reflected in human life, where individuals must choose between good, Asha, truth, and order, and evil, druge, deceit, and chaos. The religion teaches that every person has free will to choose between good and evil. Good thoughts, good words, and good deeds lead to spiritual purity and a closer relationship with Ahura Mazda. At the end of time, there will be a final judgment, where the righteous will be rewarded and the wicked will be purified. The role of Magi. Zoroastrian priests. Zoroastrian religious traditions were preserved and passed down by a special priestly class known as the Magi. Functions of the Magi. Conducted rituals and ceremonies, including offerings to Ahura Mazda. Maintained sacred fires, which symbolized divine presence and purity. Served as advisors to Persian kings, influencing royal policies. Studied astronomy and astrology, believing celestial bodies had divine significance. The Magi played an important role in both religious and political affairs, solidifying Zoroastrianism as the state religion of the Persian Empire. The sacred fire and temples. One of the most recognizable aspects of Zoroastrianism was the veneration of fire. Fire represented Ahura Mazda's divine wisdom and was kept eternally burning in Zoroastrian temples. Zoroastrian fire temples were places of worship where priests tended sacred flames. Fire was not worshipped itself, but seen as a symbol of purity and truth. These temples became centers of spiritual and communal life throughout the Persian Empire. Persian art and architecture were a reflection of the empire's vast cultural diversity, influenced by the Babylonians, Assyrians, and Egyptians, yet distinctly Persian in its grandeur and style. The Achaemenid rulers blended these artistic traditions to create monumental structures, intricate reliefs, and luxurious palaces, showcasing the empire's wealth, power, and artistic sophistication. Persepolis, the jewel of Persian architecture. The most iconic architectural achievement of the Persian Empire was Persepolis, the ceremonial capital, begun by Darius I and expanded by Xerxes III and Artaxerxes IV. Key features of Persepolis: grand stone terraces, elevated platforms that supported majestic palaces, massive columned halls. The Apadana, audience hall, featured 72 towering columns, some reaching 20 meters, 65 feet high. The Gate of All Nations, a monumental entrance decorated with colossal statues of winged bulls and inscriptions in multiple languages. Royal tombs and intricate reliefs, walls and staircases adorned with detailed carvings depicting Persian kings, nobles, and tribute-bearing envoys from across the empire. Exquisite craftsmanship, use of marble, precious metals, lapis lazuli, and other fine materials. Persepolis was not just an administrative center. It was a symbol of Persian power, unity, and artistic excellence. Persian reliefs. Storytelling in stone. Persian artists perfected the art of stone reliefs, using them to narrate the empire's history and grandeur. Unlike the violent and battle-driven reliefs of the Assyrians, Persian reliefs emphasized diplomacy, harmony, and the diversity of the empire. Common themes in Persian reliefs: processions of tribute-bearers, scenes depicting envoys from conquered lands bringing gifts to the Persian king, depictions of royal ceremonies, carvings showing Persian rulers seated on thrones, receiving officials, or engaging in religious rituals. Symbolic representations, mythological creatures like griffins, lions, and winged bulls as protectors of the empire. These intricate carvings, found in Persepolis and other Persian sites, displayed an attention to detail and craftsmanship that reflected both artistic beauty and imperial ideology. Materials and decorative elements. Persian architects and artists used a variety of materials to construct and decorate their structures. Stone and marble, used for palace construction, ensuring longevity and elegance. Glazed bricks, inspired by Babylonian art, often with colorful depictions of animals and deities. Gold and silver inlays, featured in royal decorations, jewelry, and ceremonial objects. Wood and ivory carvings, used in palace interiors for decorative panels and furniture. Persian art reflected grandeur and refinement, focusing on balance, order, and symbolism, making it distinct from its predecessors. The Persian Empire was not only a military and administrative powerhouse, but also a thriving economic hub. Through well-established trade networks, a unified currency, and an advanced taxation system, Persia ensured economic stability and prosperity across its vast territory. 4. Development of trade. Persia's strategic location, bridging the Middle East, India, Egypt, and Greece, made it one of the most important trade centers of the ancient world. The empire's rulers encouraged trade by building safe and efficient trade routes, allowing goods, cultures, and ideas to flow freely across its vast lands. Major trade routes. The Royal Road, the most important highway of the empire, spanning approximately 2,500 kilometers, connecting Susa in Persia to Sardis in Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey. This road allowed messengers to travel across the empire in just 7 days, using relay stations instead of the usual 90 days. Facilitated the movement of merchants, armies, and government officials. Featured rest stations and guards, ensuring safe passage for travelers. Persian Gulf trade routes. Linked Persia to Arabia, India, and Africa, boosting commerce in spices, pearls, textiles, and precious metals. Silk Road connections. Persia played a key role in the early stages of the Silk Road, serving as a link between China and the Mediterranean world. Maritime trade. Persian ports along the Persian Gulf enabled trade with India, the Arabian Peninsula, and East Africa. To further strengthen its economy, Darius I, 522 to 486 BC, introduced a standardized currency system, making trade easier and more efficient. The introduction of a unified currency. Gold daric, a high-value gold coin used for international trade and major transactions. Silver siglos, a more commonly used silver coin for daily transactions within the empire. These coins featured images of Persian kings and royal symbols, reinforcing imperial authority and economic unity. Benefits of the monetary system. Encouraged commerce and investment across the empire, allowed for easy taxation and efficient government spending, boosted trust in Persian markets, attracting merchants from distant lands. Advanced taxation system. To finance its administration, military, and infrastructure, Persia developed an efficient tax system in which each satrapy, province, paid a fixed amount of taxes in gold, silver, grain, livestock, or other valuable goods. Wealthier regions contributed more, while poorer areas had lower tax obligations. Collected taxes were used to fund royal construction projects, maintain roads, and supply the Persian army. This system ensured economic stability and prosperity, helping Persia sustain one of the most powerful and longest-lasting empires in history. The Persian army was one of the most powerful and well-organized military forces of the ancient world. It enabled the Achaemenid Empire to expand across 3 continents, from India to Greece and Egypt, through a combination of strategy, discipline, and adaptability. The army was not only large but also highly versatile, incorporating soldiers from various regions of the empire, each bringing their unique skills to the battlefield. The Immortals, Persia's elite fighting force. One of the most famous military units in history, the Immortals were the elite force of the Persian army. Strength, always maintained at 10,000 soldiers. If one was injured or killed, he was immediately replaced, giving the illusion of invincibility. Equipment, spears, short swords, bows, and large wicker shields for versatility in combat. Scale armor coats that provided both mobility and protection. Richly decorated uniforms to showcase their elite status. Role in battle, the first wave of attack, used to break enemy lines, served as the personal guard of the Persian king. The immortals were feared across the ancient world and played a key role in major Persian battles, including the invasions of Greece. Cavalry, the backbone of Persian warfare. The Persians were master horsemen, and their cavalry was one of the most effective in the ancient world. Types of Persian cavalry. Light cavalry, used for quick attacks, reconnaissance, and skirmishes. Heavy cavalry, cataphracts, fully armored riders and horses, capable of devastating charges. Camel riders, effective in desert warfare, especially against enemy horses that were unsettled by camels. Persian cavalry played a critical role in expansion campaigns, allowing rapid movement across the empire's vast territories. The Persian Achaemenid Empire, one of the greatest civilizations of the ancient world, met its downfall in 330 before Christ when it was conquered by Alexander the Great. This marked the end of Persian dominance and the beginning of a new era under Hellenistic, Parthian, and Sasanian rule. The Battle of Gaugamela, 331 before Christ. The defining moment. The decisive battle between the Macedonian army of Alexander the Great and the Achaemenid forces of Darius III took place at Gaugamela in 331 BC. Persian army, Darius III assembled a massive force, estimated between 200,000 and 300,000 troops, including war elephants, scythed chariots, and heavily armored cavalry. Macedonian army, Alexander's army was significantly smaller, with around 47,000 soldiers, but highly trained and disciplined. Battle tactics. Alexander used his famous oblique attack strategy, tricking the Persian forces into overextending while his cavalry broke through their center. Darius III's escape. After realizing the battle was lost, Darius fled, leading to the disintegration of the Persian army. This battle sealed the fate of the Persian Empire, allowing Alexander to march through Persia unopposed. The death of Darius III and Alexander's takeover after his defeat, Darius III fled eastward, hoping to regroup and rebuild his army. However, his own satraps, provincial governors, led by Bessus, betrayed him. Darius's assassination, 330 BC. Bessus and his men captured Darius and attempted to set up their own rule in Bactria. When Alexander's forces closed in, they stabbed Darius and left him to die in a cart. Alexander later found Darius's body and, as a sign of respect, gave him a royal burial in Persepolis. With Darius dead, Alexander declared himself the rightful ruler of the Persian Empire, adopting Persian customs and governing as a king of kings. The aftermath. Persia. Under new rulers. After Alexander's untimely death in 323 BC, his vast empire collapsed into civil wars between his generals known as the Diadochi, successors. Persia changed hands multiple times, eventually coming under the control of three major powers. To facilitate governance and communication, Darius I constructed the Royal Road, a 2,500-kilometer highway that connected Susa to Sardis, enabling rapid movement of officials, armies, and merchants. The empire also developed a postal system, standardized weights and measures, and a unified currency, gold darics and silver sigloi, all of which strengthened trade and